Hello everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, I'm right in the middle of Edinburgh city right now. Edinburgh is the capital city of Scotland, or you can say the principal city. And I'm waiting for the tram. Now, the tram system has been reintroduced to Edinburgh. I think it was brought in about 10 years ago. We had trams in the old days, in the 1950s and 60s, and then they were removed. And now they're back in most European cities, I think. So I'm just looking around, and I'm going to describe to you what I see, okay? So lots of people speaking in different languages on this tram platform. I'm standing just a stone throw away. That means very close to St. Mary's Cathedral, which is a Roman Catholic church. Everything's all automated here. You can't get on the tram without having a valid ticket, which you have to buy beforehand. Okay, so lots of townhouse-style buildings, like the kind you see in London. A few supermarkets, a pub called the Conan Doyle. Now, this is very interesting because the man who wrote Sherlock Holmes, Arthur Conan Doyle, had strong links to this city. I'm not sure if he was actually born here, but certainly many things around this area are named after him. One of the main things that I've noticed as I was traveling into Edinburgh is the Arthur Conan Doyle Psychic Centre. Many of you might not know that the author of Sherlock Holmes had a big belief in ghosts. And he spent all of his money and time researching what happens when you die. He was really obsessed with this. Partly because of the period he came from, of course. He came from the late 1800s. But he opened up the Psychic Research Centre here, and it's named after him, of course, and it's very famous, and they have meetings and they discuss things like fairies and the supernatural. It's all very interesting. So that's a kind of a big thing here. But there's also a pub named after him, which I can see here where I'm standing. And that looks like a statue of Sherlock Holmes. I can't really see because it has its back to me. So that's there as well. And a massive cinema called the Omni there as well. So many different things to see. Yes, so there we are. So I'm just waiting for the tram to get on it. And I'll describe to you when I am on it exactly what it looks like. So it's a very wet day and it's very cold. Lots of people standing around. Not as many as you would see in a city like Barcelona because there aren't quite so many people here. And the people who are here might be tourists. Let's see. Yeah, so the tram will be here in a minute. So what else do I see? There's the Playhouse. Clearly that was an old theatre. It's still open. Looks very Victorian there with the kind of fake Roman facade. The place that I'm standing is called Picardy Place. So you can find that on a Google map, no doubt, and have a little look about. It has what looks like a newly constructed garden opposite where I'm standing. And John Lewis, which is an old department store here, that's still there as well. Lots of traffic whizzing up and down the street, going very fast, so I'm guessing this is a main area. And also lots of hotels around here too, so that's very good. Yes, clearly very cold by the way people are dressed. You can see that they're wearing heavier coats, hats, and of course carrying the umbrella as well. So that's kind of new, because just yesterday it was lovely. There were no signs of showers. In fact, I went to cut my grass, but I have to remember I am in the other side of the country now. Remember, in the UK, no matter where you stand, you're never any more than around 60 kilometers away from the sea. So that means that to travel from one side of the country to the other is about 120 miles or 120 kilometers. So there's a school nearby, so I can hear the bell of the tram there. So it must be approaching. There's lots of kids here with the school uniforms. Edinburgh was always famous for private schools. There's a few of them around. There was one called Markeston, which I see has been converted into apartment blocks, and there's another called Fettes College. Both of these schools were boys' schools, but I'm imagining now all of the private schools around here are probably mixed. I don't know. I'm just guessing that's the case. What else can I tell you? Well, lots of people going into the church there, St. Mary's Catholic Cathedral. So I'm not sure if a mass is about to start or if they're tourists, but many people looking around there. Actually, they look Japanese, so I'm guessing they're tourists. The traffic's quite aggressive. I can see lorries, trucks, buses. They're all quite determined to get up that hill. And of course, Edinburgh is very famous as well for the castle on one end and Holyrood Palace on the other. That's called the Royal Mile because both of those places were inhabited by the Scottish royal family before they went to England to become king of both countries when the Union was formed. That's the Union of United Kingdom. And there we are. So the tram is just approaching now. It's heavily painted with advertisements for various different things. Looks like exhibitions, what's on, mind-blowing theatre experiences. Lots of ads there, but I'm assuming that's because it's a tourist city. The tram says it's going to the airport. The one thing I'm noticing between Edinburgh and Glasgow is that in Glasgow, many of the people are really, really huge. Here, people seem to be not of the fuller figure, a bit fitter maybe, and the tram's going to be very busy, so I'm just stepping on it here. So let me just quickly describe the tram. It's very, very busy, very hot. I'm pleased about that. The tram is reminding me on the notice boards. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Just showing my ticket. So the tram is reminding me on the notice board there that this is Picardy Place, and the next stop, I think, is St. Andrew's Place, which is quite famous as far as I know, and is headed for the airport. So very nice, very busy though. Lots of people standing here, from lots of different backgrounds and cultures and different places. So that's it. So are we getting off just in a couple of moments? So I'll just close by saying that if you are planning to visit, remember it's very important that you wrap up well because it's very cold and very wet. And there we are. So I'll talk to you all again soon. I hope you've enjoyed this. See you. Bye.